Wait, stop. Before you scroll, just listen to this. 14 people laughed when my stepdaughter raised her glass and called me the loser pretending to be her dad. Thanksgiving dinner, my table, my food. 13 years of my life reduced to a punchline. My name is Nelson Hoffman. I'm 47, and until recently I was a senior supply chain manager for a major pharmaceutical company. I spent decades making sure life-saving medications reached hospitals on time. Precision was my language. Planning was my religion. I genuinely believed that if you showed up consistently, if you did things right, people would eventually respect you. That belief nearly killed me. I met my wife, Rosalie, 13 years ago. She was sharp, graceful, and visibly exhausted in the way only single mothers are. Her daughter, Brittany, was 7, quiet, gap-toothed, clinging to Rosalie's hand. Her biological father was long gone. I told myself I could fill the gap. I didn't need gratitude. I just wanted to matter. For years, I showed up. I taught Brittany how to ride a bike. I sat through dance recitals and parent-teacher meetings. I taught her how to drive in empty parking lots at dawn. I paid for braces, tuition, insurance, everything. But somewhere between adolescence and adulthood, things changed. Her real father reappeared when it suited him. Rosalie's mother, Lorraine, moved in temporarily and never left. She reminded me daily that I wasn't blood. Brittany started rolling her eyes, correcting me, dismissing me like an inconvenience. Rosalie always brushed it off. She's just stressed. She doesn't mean it, but I read patterns for a living. I knew better. Then the headaches started. They wrapped around my skull like a vice. Weeks later, I lost feeling in my left hand during a work presentation. The neurologist's office smelled like antiseptic and bad news. "You have an arteriovenous malformation," Dr. Reynolds told me gently. "It's dangerous. You'll need brain surgery soon. 3 months, maybe less." When I got home and tried to tell Rosalie, she asked me to pick up dinner. Lorraine joked that my diagnosis explained a lot. That was the moment something in me snapped, not loudly, but permanently. I didn't leave, not yet. Instead, I prepared. I met with a lawyer named Russell Kent. Together we built a legal structure trust, clauses, contingencies, everything documented, everything enforceable. One clause mattered most: public humiliation in the presence of witnesses. Thanksgiving arrived, 14 guests. My stepdaughter home from college. Her biological father sitting at my table, soaking up praise. I cooked everything. No one thanked me. Halfway through dinner, Brittany stood and raised her glass. "I'm thankful my real dad is finally here," she said, smiling at him. Then she looked at me. Unlike the loser at the other end of the table who has been pretending for 13 years, laughter erupted. I didn't argue, I didn't shout. I slid a white envelope across the table. "Open it," I said. Her smile collapsed as she read, hands shaking, color draining from her face. "What does this mean?" She whispered. "It means the clause has been activated," I said calmly. "You have 30 days. I left while she screamed. The house wasn't theirs. It never had been. The trust was mine alone. Utilities would shut off. Locks would change. Everything was legal. Everything was documented, including her toast, which I had recorded in my pocket. They called, begged, threatened. I didn't answer. 3 days later, Rosalie arrived at my office with her lawyer. He lasted 5 minutes on the phone with Russell before his confidence evaporated. "This is enforceable," he admitted. "You signed everything," she asked who I was now. "I'm the man you took for granted," I told her. Then came Brittany alone, weeks later. "I'm pregnant," she said. The father was a married professor who had disappeared. She asked me to help. I said no. For the first time in her life, consequences didn't bend. My surgery came in January. I checked into the hospital alone. No wife, no daughter, just surgeons and probability. I survived. Recovery was brutal: speech therapy, physical therapy, silence. Russell visited with news. The house had sold. Every $240,000 donated to a children's hospital. They named a ward after me. Rosalie got a job for the first time in 13 years. Brittany dropped out of college. Life taught lessons I never could. 14 months later, I moved to Denver. New job, new life. Brittany found me once more, pushing a stroller through a park. She apologized not for forgiveness, but for understanding too late. I forgave her, not for her sake, for mine. We didn't rebuild what we'd lost. Some things don't deserve reconstruction. But I learned something essential. You can't make people value you. But you can absolutely refuse to be devalued, and sometimes that's enough. Thanks for listening to this story. Hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life narratives.